Hello Internet, my name is Ace and today I'm going to be showing you how to draw comic book style portraits. Okay, so with all portraits we need to start with some reference, and here is the guy that we're going to be drawing. And I like to get a lot of reference pictures of somebody, as many as I can really, because certain photos can look more or less like that person. Like the picture on the left, I mean it looks like the guy on the far right, but it could be argued that they don't look exactly the same. And this happens all the time with photographs. Like you see it in the tabloid magazines all the time, where there's absolutely beautiful celebrity and they'll maybe be getting out of a car and the face will just be like midway through an expression and it kind of looks all janky. And I like to try and alleviate that as much as possible by just working from as much reference as possible and kind of making a composite in my head of what this person looks like and who this person is. So here we have the actual person we're working with. Now I've taken this picture to be the main reference just for this video. When I was actually drawing the portrait, I had maybe 10, 11, 12, something like that, images of him above where I was working so I could look and reference. So it's not the exact identical picture that I was working from, but it's the one that looks definitely the most like it in the end. I like to start by defining the eye line first, getting the right angle for that, then working in the hairline, the chin and the top of the head. And that way you have basically all of your measurements pretty much done. After then, it's just a point of getting the width of the face and really just finishing the actual head shape, because there's so much character within a head shape. Now, the human anatomy doesn't have any real straight lines. Like, as you can see more in the finished image, the jaw and the chin are defined with really straight lines. Now, that's because I was working within the style of a comic that I was referenced to, asked to basically do his face in that comic book style. So depending on which comic book you're trying to emulate, or if you're just trying to come up with something yourself, having a defined style beforehand definitely helps, because you might need to have very angular straight lines. It might be more softer, rounded, cartoony kind of lines, and this was definitely the more direct straight lines. Then once we've defined where the eyebrows fit, we can move on to the triangle. The triangle is super important when we're trying to get likeness. It's used a lot in caricature theory, but I use it all the time, and I've used it for months and months and months in my portrait drawing as well. So basically, we are imagining a line that connects the outside points of the eyes to each other, and then connecting those to make the triangle with the bottom of the nose, the tip of the nose. And if you nail this triangle, you get the relationship right between the eyes and the nose, the likeness will almost certainly be there. This is really handy, especially when we're working within certain design restraints like this, where it needs to be in the style of a certain comic book, but we still want to get that likeness right. When we're working with features such as the ears and the nose, simplicity is key. Every time you're adding another line in, you're going to be aging your character by like 10 years, every single line. So you want to just focus on which aspects of the features are the most important. So we don't just want to be adding lines here and there, especially when we're working with cartoon characters, comic book characters, caricature, things like that, because it's just going to really age the character. Simplicity is key. So find the shape of the nose, and in this you can see that I've flattened certain objects out instead of making everything super round and things like that, because I'm just looking for those key things that communicate that this is this person's nose. The same thing applies when we're working on the upper lip area, the chin and everything like that. I'm not going to be inking every single one of these lines, because I've got it in my head, this fact of this is a young guy, so we don't want to be adding too many lines in there. And for the eyebrows, you can't tell a great deal from this reference picture, but he has like a gap on his left eyebrow, our right as we're looking at it. He's got a gap in the eyebrow, and I just thought trying to look for these things that are unique to that person and just putting them in there will really, really add to the likeness, and you will just get a better image in the end because of it. I always say this when working on eyes, but it's super important to just really look at the shapes. Nobody's just got these huge almonds or big circles in the center of the face. We have to really just try and get this part right, because this is, people look at you in the eye when they're talking, people look at you in the eye constantly, so we know what people's eyes are like, and so much characters within the eyes. No two eyes are exactly the same shape, the left eye and the right eye, they always differ. So just try and slow down and really look at that shape. Don't worry about the inside parts yet, just worry about the actual shape of the eye, and then add in the pupil and the iris, everything like that later on. The only other place that we really look at someone when somebody's talking to us or we're communicating is the mouth, so it's equally as important to nail that shape as well. Now, we all hold the tension and the muscles in our face differently, so everyone's mouth shape is different as well. Some people have a higher left-hand side, lower right-hand side, the opposite, loads of different things that can be happening, different lip shapes, endless variations that really help us to get that likeness. So as with the eyes, we'll basically ignore the teeth, ignore anything like that. We're just worrying about the inside shape. Ignore the lips, just the inside shape of the mouth. Then once we've got that drawn, we can go ahead and add the teeth and add the lips. So with the teeth, depending on the style of comic that you're working on, generally they're very simplified. There'll just be a white bar, or there may be the canines or the front teeth will be accented, but that will pretty much be it. And on guys, the upper lip is pretty much almost exclusively non-existent. I mean, you can add the couple of the joining parts to signify that, but generally you don't really want to be accenting that upper lip on a guy. So once we've finished off defining a few of the features, getting a bit of shape in there for the hair, etc., we are pretty much done, and it's onto the inking. Now, I will be doing a video in the future on inking. I will ink this exact picture, so look out for that in the future. And as always, you can click the subscribe button down below and you'll be informed of whenever videos like that come out in the future. Okay, so here we have it. Here we have the finished image. And if you've liked this, hit the like button. If you've got any questions, leave them down in the comments down below. And until next time, have an awesome week, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. If you want to support me and in turn grab some awesome goodies for yourself, such as early and extra videos and Google Hangouts with me from as little as $1 a month, head on over to patreon.com/aceconnell. I'll see you there.